So a lot of people have been wondering, is Bitcoin anonymous? Well, this is a great story. About December of 2013. You know, it's football season, there's all these college football games going on, lots of great sports going on, and it was one weekend, and you see in the rows of people, there's all these people holding up signs like "Go Team Go," and this one guy here in this picture, he's holding up a sign, huge sign that says, "Hi Mom, send me Bitcoin." And again, it's that QR code. So what's embedded in that QR code? Well, if you see there at the bottom, there's the random string of numbers, and that's his Bitcoin address. You know, it's as though I held up a sign and said, "Send me an email to lauren@gmail.com." So what happened? What do you think happened? Well, since all these transactions are public on the public blockchain, the ledger, we can actually go and see how much money this guy received. And this is it here. So in that amount of time, it was, within a couple days, people sent him Bitcoin, to thank him for bringing Bitcoin awareness to the world. And it totaled about 23 Bitcoin. And at that time, at those prices, it was worth about $22,000. So just from holding up that sign at this event, people donated about $22,000 for him just for spreading Bitcoin awareness. But it shows you the power of how easy it is to get people to send you Bitcoin and how easy it is for anybody to send it to you. And again, there's no central authority. It's as though these people went up to him and gave him cash. But then this begs the question, well, who is he? Well, we don't know. All we know is what his Bitcoin address is. And, that little image of him on the TV screen. So later that week, he actually posted a Twitter. He posted on his Twitter, he posted a tweet that said, "Here's the famous sign," and he's holding it up, but you can't see his face again. So that's why we say that Bitcoin is pseudo anonymous. You can see every single transaction that goes back to 2009. So the key question is, who is this person? How do we tie an identity to this Bitcoin address? Well, in some cases you can, in some cases you can't. Here, all we know is he's an Auburn fan, we know what his Twitter account is, and we kind of know what he looks like. But other than that, we're not really sure who this person is moving all this money. So that's why we say it's pseudo-anonymous. In some cases, it's great, this pseudo-anonymity. There's charities that use this to instill transparency. So here we have the BitGive Foundation, and they publicly show what their Bitcoin address is. It's 1PE, and it keeps going on. The key thing here is you can actually go on the blockchain and see every single donation they've received since day one. And you can see when they've cashed that out into US dollars, or when they've moved it into another account. And this really helps with transparency and trust, trusting that you can see more into the financials of this charity that you're giving to. Now, this was also a great story. In November of 2013, people were watching the blockchain, and one day, all of a sudden, you see, oh my God, $150 million was transferred through the blockchain, from one account to another. And if this happened in the traditional financial world, from one bank account to another bank account, well, you'd probably have government officials involved, or at least the IRS. You'd have senior officials at a bank, maybe some lawyers, just to make sure that this transaction is not going to terrorist financing or money laundering, all these different reasons why. But in Bitcoin worlds, it's just as though we came up to somebody and gave them cash. There is no central authority. So people online were speculating, maybe it's this person, maybe it's this company. We don't know who's moving this large sum of money. Well, thankfully, just afterwards, Bitstamp, the world's largest Bitcoin exchange, came out and publicly announced that they were the ones that moved this $150 million. And in that case, we're able to tie an identity to a Bitcoin address. And they actually use this as an audit, just to check their records and make sure that they have the right amount of money that they think they do. So that's the section on, is Bitcoin anonymous? The next section we're going to look at is Bitcoin pricing.